Tank games have been a part of video game history since at least the 1974 release of the arcade game Tank, an early Atari arcade success that led to the creation of the mega classic Combat for the Atari 2600. When the Atari 5200 released in 1982, it was missing a classic tank game, quickly corrected by the release of Countermeasure, which aimed to make good use of the much maligned Atari 5200 controller. Countermeasure was one of the relatively few original titles for the 5200 and featured much more complex control and gameplay than Combat did, with a focused single-player experience as well as two-player action. Its complexity might have actually hurt the game due to how difficult it was to control, but the game featured pretty intense military combat for the era. Failsafe is a homebrew game released in 2009 for the Atari 7800, as a physical cart by the retro game-focused Atari Age website. And its creator, Bob DeCrescenzo, has stated that Failsafe is an unofficial sequel to Countermeasure, even calling it Countermeasure 2 during development. Besides being for the 7800, the game features simpler controls and improved graphics while maintaining the challenging gameplay and its own take on a code system to stop ultimate destruction. The goal is to get through 6 stages before running out of lives or time, and you'll boost your shots and position carefully to avoid enemy fire. Blasting enemies can drop power-ups that give you things like a speed boost, increased shot distance, invincibility, the ability to freeze all enemies for a while, and most importantly, pieces of the 4-digit password you'll need to enter if you get to the end of the mission. Nothing automatic here, you have to memorize the numbers and their position. I've never been able to beat the game yet, even at its lowest difficulty, but I have gotten midway through the final stage. The game is tough until you learn how to best handle the various enemies and shots, and there are 3 difficulties. Failsafe doesn't feature 2-player combat. There's a particular issue worth raising here that could lead you to throw your controller across the room. Failsafe uses an Atari 7800 emulator on the VCS to run, and the emulator appears to map cart reset to pushing in the left stick of your modern controller. I don't know about you, but I have a particular problem with the modern, which causes me to accidentally push in the stick during more intense gameplay. Usually it doesn't matter, but it did here numerous times as I got further than ever before just to reset my game by accident. You can remap the reset to something else relatively easily. I discovered also by accident pushing in the Fuji button gets you to the emulator menu, and you can remap controls from there. It's a nice benefit, and I suspect people who know more about this kind of thing might get further use out of the ability to access the 7800 emulator itself. Failsafe has a very deliberate pace that can be a bit slow, although the gameplay is pretty intense, and while it isn't exactly difficult on normal at least, it is unforgiving. This is a game that demands you don't make a mistake, although you do get maybe up to 6 lives as you play through the stages. The variety of enemies is also a challenge, and I found enemy soldiers and flying rockets particularly tough. It's an excellent 7800 game, and the reviews have been positive on all of programmer DeCrescenzo's homebrew games. Failsafe controls great using a classic joystick as well. Reminder, you can access the manual in the details page of the title in Atari OS. The game is only $5. Thanks for watching. The VCS has had a busy summer and I've got quite a few games yet to get to, so I'll be working on that in the coming weeks. This is a small no-money YouTube channel, so liking this video will help out a lot, and do that if you liked the video. Subscribing gets these videos in your feed. Have fun!